So you might find yourself wondering, why in the hell do they repeat everything over and over again? Why do they train people on a loop? Why do they tell people that this actually works out for them in some way? I just finished watching the same Viper video, which was posted multiple times since I was younger, so I don't feel so strange. Essentially, sharing is basically from what you're seeing right here.
Whatever suits you.
The human mind is basically an electric organ. It's a sensory processor, is all it is. Your nerve endings in your peripheral nervous system and your sensory organs and the like provide a stimulation which sends a series of cascading neural impulses to your brain, where your brain integrates them. It pulls those things together and it passes them through different parts of the brain. I'm not sure if it's simultaneous or if it's a quick loop, essentially, back to this part, and results in either the suppression of an action or the engagement in an action or further processing. We add our own color to things. But we add the color of emotion, we add the color of memory and learned knowledge and the recovery of memory and so on and so forth. Now, we're only as conscious, essentially, as our memory allows us to be. Like, for example, I've made this video before, and this jackass is over here talking about Jesus shit like he does every fucking time for some reason or another. By creating these paired, shall we say, interactions, one person forms a set of observable responses to this individual. Alright. So this person talks, or this or that or the other thing. Now, this causes a certain pattern of electrical impulses in the brain, chemical electrical impulses, and the addition of willful activity in responses to these things, like I just made a second ago, referring to him yet again as being, he's a jackass, so on and so forth. So this is like the third or fourth time we're here. Yeah, that reinforces the activity itself. So with enough reminders in the absence of memory, a person begins to talk or do things the same way or wander the same way. And essentially within an environment where essentially their natural impulses are also combining to form these particular activities, then they're going to be penned in by their own necessity. And without an additional amount of money or without a will to do something exceedingly illegal, essentially, to find their way, into a situation where they're better provided for in a particular situation, they are stuck at the same level of income and the same level of resources until they interact with people enough that they get something, or that they have impetus to do so, or until they make a willful decision to do otherwise. Now, the brain's weird. Sometimes it remembers this shit ahead of time. Sometimes it doesn't remember it at all until after the fact, But what they've done is they have pulled people out far enough that gradually they get them stuck in this cycle, essentially, and then they move their children, their new victims, their whores, and everything else through the same loop of everybody else, of a bunch of stable individuals that do and say the same things, and do 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 the same things. And it reinforces a pattern of sensation and response that, paired with willful acting or willful activities, such as making this video, for example, results in a person, as they wander about through town, with enough reinforces their environment, while a lot of other people are doing the same thing, to basically go around in circles. Now, you remove memory, or you repress memories, essentially, which some of us do, after all this bullshit is over, and you get caught unaware. So it drags you back through the same crap again. I mean, they're pretty garbage people for doing this to people in the first place. These people can't be trusted, but, that's why they taught them this is something beneficial to them, apparently, because then they cling to it out of sheer anxiety, at least long enough until they get stuck. That's the trick. It's pretty fucked up.